Hey there, honey bunnies. Welcome to episode 73 of your Sovereign Storytellers podcast with your host, Michelle Wolf. And today we are talking about good news, bad news, good news. Which one do you want first? The bad news is we're going to have to save ourselves. The good news is we are perfectly capable of doing so. So I put a piece of prose on my Facebook page the other day, maybe 3 or 4 days ago, and the title is It's Time. It'll be in the new book later, the new poetry and prose book later this year. Um, and what prompted it is this sensation I had of holding my breath and a deeply hidden sense of waiting. And I caught myself in that energy of waiting and was like, what am I waiting for? Who am I waiting for? What is this waiting, breath holding energy? And part of that is childhood patterning, waiting for someone to come home, waiting for the next change. Like never really. It's kind of like when you move a lot, you can get to the point where you stop unpacking because you're like, well, I'm just going to move again. So what's the point in unpacking? And my sister had good advice about that as she just made herself unpack anyway. After a bunch of moves, it's like just go ahead and unpack. And so what if you're only there a couple of months, which is good advice. And advice I've followed since then. But if we're waiting, and I feel like we're doing this individually and collectively as a nation and maybe as a world, it's like we're all waiting for something to change outside ourselves so that we can, it's another if this, then that situation. If our politics would get back on track, then we could create our business. If our spouse would just do X, Y, or Z, then I could go ahead and do my stuff. If I knew how to market, then I could create a successful blah, 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 blah. Bark, bark, woof, woof. What are we waiting for? I think I've done a podcast on this before, but it's getting louder for me, which means it's probably getting louder for you. And I hope this serves to help you find it if you're holding your breath. I feel like we've been holding our breath for years, since even before 2016, politically, when we were holding our breath to see what the outcome was going to be and sort of putting ourselves on hold, inducing a energetic stasis of sorts where we're just frozen and hunkered down. Now this goes right in line with me publicly releasing Forrest Reiki as an energy modality that I now teach, and I also have a handful of, well, not quite a handful, but pretty close to teachers who are trained in doing this attunement. But the image I kept getting from the forest where I live was of all these human beings down in the root ball of trees. And the message I was getting was hunker down. Get this out in the world. Because I really fought putting it out in the world. Because for crime, not like I'm not weird enough, but then to have to go like, oh, and by the way, the trees are saying, like, all right, well, might as well just cross the river Rubicon and burn all the bridges. Anyway, I got over myself for various reasons, which you can read on the website. There's a video there, thatmichellewolf.com/Forrest Reiki. But that was the message. And this was, back a few years, like it was a pounding message. Every time I went out in the woods, I was seeing this image of humans curled up, safe, protected, a stasis, batten down the hatches, fasten your seatbelts. It's about to get bumpy, which it did. It has been. And now I feel like collectively and also individually, we're waking up. But even more so than waking up, we're growing up. I told someone, a client the other day, that I feel like humanity kind of went into a hole for a few years. And now, the sunlight is back out and we are energetically feeling things move again. Those of us who've had enormous trouble manifesting are starting to see movement in those areas again of, hey, I want this thing, and it's the energy's moving around it, where for years it was like, hey, I want this thing, and it was like nothing happened. It was like being encased in concrete. So I feel like there's a little message from Team Invisible in this that, yeah, we had to like curl down into the roots of the trees and protect ourselves while a wave of change rolled through our collective energy field. And now is not that it's not still rolling through, but the worst, I don't even know how to phrase it. I want to say the worst is over and now we need to wake up. But in a sense, the worst of that part is over, and now the bad news is we have to save ourselves, which means we might have to grow the fuck up. And then the good news is we are perfectly capable of growing the fuck up. We really are. We really don't have to wait and protest vote and decide we're not going to vote because we're having a little snit that our candidate, blah, blah, all that. That we're not going to take action on a business because the whole system is corrupt and there's so many shitty coaches out there, and so I'm just not going to even. Or I don't want to take responsibility for my stuff, so I'm just not going to say anything. Like temper tantrums. Time for temper tantrums is over, honey bunnies. It's over. We're done. No more temper tantrums. No more sitting around waiting for a rescuer, a savior, someone to come and fix the damn thing already. So I was in my very first get together for Steph Lagana's Elemental Business Incubator, which I believe is still open. So Google, I think it's mythicalenterprises.com. I'm probably screwing that up. So if you just Google Steph, STEPH, Lagana, LAGANA, you'll find her website. And in that meeting, I was naming this sense of waiting, like I'm stuck with this housing dilemma and I can't figure it out and I feel trapped by it and I feel like I'm waiting for someone to come and just fix all the stuff already. Right? Can somebody just come fix all the shit already? Don't you feel like that sometimes in life? Like there's this mess and there's that mess and there's a burning fire over there and there's a flood happening over here, and can somebody just come and fix all this shit already? For fuck's sake, man. But it's not going to happen that way. It's not. We have to be responsible for our choices. We are energy creators. Another thing I signed up for was Corey Michelle's Receiving Millions Being You live stream. I think there's still availability for that too. If you just go on Facebook or the Google and look for Corey, Cory Michelle. So it's like two different things. And of course, all my work is about being responsible for yourself. And now that's even deeper, like being responsible, waking up to the amount of power we hold, and being grown-ups about how we use our power. We've been a little toddler-esque in flinging stuff everywhere and creating by default rather than saying, whoa, wait a minute, I'm packing heat. I've got a shit ton of power here and I'm not being super responsible with how I'm creating with it. So if I want to get out of this mess, what do I need to do? What decisions do I need to make that I've been putting off until the mystery energy comes along and fixes it? Or until somebody comes around and tells me what to do? I've repeatedly gotten a fog bank or a blank screen when I've tried to get answers myself on a couple of particular subjects. When that's happening, it's that you got to do it yourself, yo. You need to make a decision first of all. And then baby step, baby step, baby step along the path. Follow the energy, follow the breadcrumb trail. Remember that analogy that Mike Dooley uses, that if you can program your GPS, and that's awesome sauce, but it's not going to start telling you anything until you put your car in gear and put your foot on the pedal farthest to the right. That's the gas one. And push it down and make your car go. The putting your car in gear is making that decision. Like, I am not going to live in the situation I'm living in. It's not working. It's not physically helpful. I would like to keep both property, or keep this property and find another one closer to my kiddo, but I've got to make a decision. So where are you not making a decision? Where are you, like, in the spin cycle, or, loving your time in the churn and not making the decision to get out of it? Like spinning around because all our focus is on the environment and all the all the clowns in all the tiny cars. That's cool. Stay informed. Make your decisions. And also, don't wait for all that crap to settle down before you make a decision and change your life. Start to exercise the power you've got by being responsible for what you're allowing to go on inside your cute little noggins. What are you thinking about? Who are you thinking about? Which axe are you grinding? Which gear are you grinding? And what needs to happen? What decision needs to be made to take your sword and slice through that Gordian knot and just be like, wow, done. Enough. Enough already. Make some decisions, even if they're bad. At least they're decisions, and will put your car in gear and you can start driving, and your inner GPS will go, hey, dummy, you're going the wrong way. And you're like, oh, thank you, inner GPS. What should I do? And she'll tell you, at the next opportunity, take a legal U-turn. Right? But you've got to be moving. You have to make a decision and be in motion for your guides, for your team invisible, to say, hey, whoa, go a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. You're getting hotter. Remember that game, Hot and Cold, when you were a kid? Oh, you're getting hotter and you're getting hotter. And no, you're getting colder now. You're going the wrong way. And so what a perfect practice we were doing as kids. That's what we're supposed to do. You've got to be in motion so that the universe, so that your guides, so that your higher self can tell you, oh, you're getting colder. Adjust. Take a left turn. Okay, now go right. Okay, get in the roundabout and take the third exit off of this circular nonsense. Right? We're all doing it. We're all doing it. So make a decision today. Whatever thing you've been grinding on, it's like, whoa, okay, time to come back out into the world. Time to recognize and own all the power we have and use it responsibly. I feel like a beer commercial. Drink responsibly. Energy create responsibly. Be an adult. Make decisions. Take action. Listen for your guidance. Adjust and adapt and flow as needed. There, that's your prescription for the day from Dr. Wolf. Stop holding your breath. Exhale so that you can inhale. Just let that breath go. Whew, right? The cavalry's not coming. You are the cavalry. You are the rescuer. You are your own savior, but you have to own it. You have to comfort that scared little part of you that's like, whoa, where's the Santa Claus? Where's the fairy godmother? Where's the prince? Disney's a bunch of liars. But we all do it, men, women alike, whatever. Anyway, we know we're doing it, and now we can choose to do something differently. Okay, where am I still acting like a little kid, waiting for mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, somebody to come home and fix the mess that I'm in? Time to stop waiting for your diaper to be changed. You've gone even past pull ups, okay? You're not even in pull ups anymore. You're wearing big girl pants and panties. Now let's grab a hold of them and get going. Whoops.
Potential spam.
There's a musical interlude for you if you heard that. I had a call come in. Sorry about that if you heard it. It was probably loud. Alrighty. So this is a little bit of a short podcast. I just had so much awareness I wanted to share. And just to remind you that please use your power responsibly. Please start creating with it. Not creating with it is making you physically ill. Not using all the power that you're sitting on is making you struggle in life when it's so not necessary. Unnecessary pain is the worst, right? That's the worst. Life has got its painful moments enough without us adding more frosting pain on top of it. Can we at least stop doing that much? I know how hard it is to go, oh, wait a minute, I'm going to have to save myself, especially if you are addicted to victim thinking. If victim thinking is your familiar bad feeling place, if looking outward for someone to blame is where you're most comfortable, even to the tune of wanting teachers to teach differently and people to tell the news differently so that you can take it easier, so that you can respond differently, even as subtle as that. Like the world is doing what the world does. And it's our responsibility to stand up and say, okay, what am I going to do from the inside out? Where have I been neglecting my power, holding my breath, waiting for somebody to come and fix all this? And am I ready to stop? Maybe you're not. I find it hard to believe, though, that you'd be listening to this podcast if you weren't, at least on some part of you, ready to stop doing that, ready to let go of childhood things and move into full adult mode. Everything's right here. We have all the power to fix it ourselves. Even deeper, we have all the power to relax into what's already here and let the currents carry us. We still can have it easy. I think some of us have this idea that being an adult is such a bag of crap that we don't even want it. Like, who wants to be an adult? Ew! All that stuff. But when you're responsible with your energy, the more you relax, the more you play, the more you have fun, the more the work, air quote, gets done. And it's not hard. It's not a struggle. Our struggle is trying to be adults with our energy, but we're coming from this disempowered childhood state. We have to let go of the childhood state to effectively use our energy in efficient, smooth, serendipitous ways. Things just flow because we've made our decisions and we're willing to trash our plans at any moment if the road sign says turn left here. We let go of our stubbornness. We let go of our inner toddler that's like, no, my way, mine, 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 mine. Finding Nemo seagulls, right? Mine, 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 mine. We can let go of that. We can stop doing that. We can stop that right this second. Okay? What do you think? You with me? It's not easy. I'm not saying it is. You'll have to train yourself. You'll have to change your habits. Go get yourself essential Zen habits. It's a simple breakdown of how to change your habits. There's all kinds of resources. Human design is one of the best ways to form new habits. And if you haven't dove in, If you haven't had a Human Designs Foundations reading, go to my website, thatmichellewolf.com, and book yourself one. Treat yourself to getting your own blueprint for how to get through life. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't. It's not supposed to be so hard. Okay? I think that's all I have. Yeah, I think we're good for today. So, check out Human Design. Go to my website. There's all kinds of ways that you can do this. There's all kinds of ways to step out of your familiar bad feeling place and choose to do something different and do the loving self-discipline that's required. All kinds of ways to do it. All right? ThatMichelleWolf.com. Talk to you later, but remember kids, as we're growing up to be adults, think less, feel more. I'll talk to you later.